Willkommen in ein Groot-Brittannia. This video is some tips and tricks for tourists, foreigners visiting London for their holidays. Are you planning a trip to London in the coming weeks, months? Then listen to this handy guide and you'll be able to experience London like a tourist, like a true local tourist. First of all, you should use a bus for transport. Okay, that's just like all of the tourists do, and that's the best way to experience London. But be very careful. Make sure you don't use a bus with a roof. Okay, that's a real trap for locals. So you want to make sure you use a bus like without a roof, and that will go everywhere that you want to go, right? Because the normal roofed buses can be prohibitively inexpensive. So always look out for a roofless bus. True, cool and hip Londoners wouldn't be seen dead in a roofed bus. And that was kind of an accidental offensive joke. Now, you probably want to base your sightseeing around the Trocadero Centre, okay, because it's kind of a hub for the sort of more, classy tourism, and that will allow you to see all of the key sites of London. All the main ones you will want to visit: Madame Tussauds and that shop in Stratford. Eating. Now, be very careful of so-called independent restaurants. Right? They are a real local trap. Okay, now I would advise, once you've expended all the restaurant options in the authentic McDonald's, I'd recommend branching out into, Angus Steakhouse, Garfunkel's, those sorts of places which serve authentic tourist food, and they've got a great sort of awful atmosphere. Now, if you are going to visit London, it does help if you're a Spanish teenager. You can do it if you're other things, but even if you're not a Spanish teenager, then you should obey the old London rule for Spanish teenagers, that they stand on the left of the escalator, and that way you can make some nice English friends. If you want to go outside of London, then I would recommend experiencing authentic British ennui in a Costa on the M1, or regretting your life choices in an industrial estate somewhere. Thanks for listening and have fun in London. And one final thing, do go and see Wicked, because it's not awful, and you can get tickets for as little as £100. So go along to that. Visit the Trocadero Centre, go and see the waxworks, enjoy everything London has to offer. And one final word of warning, do remember that in light of the Brexit votes, the English are racist. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye.